What the government decided some 10 years ago was they wanted to invest in the most deprived areas in the country. And so they selected the areas, and there were 39 in all, and ABCD was one of them, where they wanted to give the money to the community to be spent by the community on the things which was important to them, rather than being imposed by people from outside.
The vision is about a sustainable area where people can continue to live. I mean, it's a very exciting area. It's very near to the edge of the city centre, so it's a sustainable area. We want to make sure that people who live there can continue to live there in the future.
We've completely refurbished Graiseley Healthy Living Centre, which just very recently moved into the Blakenhall Centre. That centre's got specific equipment for older people. They've got exercise equipment that was more suitable for people who've got poor mobility, etc. And feedback from users at the centre is that the local community find that extremely exciting.
The main differences are that the Blakenhall Community Centre and Graiseley Community Health Living Centre have come together as one. So that's given people access just to one facility, so there's no cafe, there wasn't a cafe in the other facilities, information area, there wasn't one in the other facilities. Everything's now under one roof.
To have a sports centre like this or a facility like this in the area, I think that is the key. This is something that's going to be left behind to say this is what ABCD has done.
The Friends of the Park did a consultation with the local community on what they would like to see on here. And it came out very, very, very strongly that they wanted pathways, they wanted boundary fencing, and they wanted it to be functional for the community.
The park is very highly used, and especially on a weekend, everybody tends to come here as the open bit of land. There isn't that much green space in the area. So for a lot of families, it's a place to just come and spend some time when the weather's right.
Good morning, it's 9 o'clock, ready to start on the walk on Phoenix Park. Is everybody okay? Walks that we do with Walking for Health, they're really good for people to join in. It's structured where it's a certain time and a certain day, and people know that they have the motivation to come along. It's in the diary, they know it's 9 o'clock Friday morning, we'll come along for the walk.
Ever since I joined, I find it very enjoyable. Instead of walking on your own, you're walking as a group. It's a lot better.
The funding we've had here has been really good on both levels. The small funding towards the community chest grants that the clubs had has helped us grow and helped us add more teams. Obviously, the kids in the area, it's a lot of money to start teams off training and coaching. But also one of the bigger things is the actual field itself. There was no pitches here originally, it was just a field. So now we've got football pitches, it's fenced off, the park, paths area, it's just a lot safer and a better place to play.
The
projects vary from very small things like minor interventions. For example, at Barons Court Hotel on Goldthorne Hill, we did some stained glass window work to save some very interesting panels in the front door, up to things like the Baker's Boot Factory that we're standing in now, where we did what we call an envelope scheme, which addresses the entire outside of the building, which included the courtyard. So it was re-roofed, the roof lights were redone, windows that had long since gone were recreated and put back, stonework cleaned, brickwork cleaned, and it ends up in the fantastic situation you see now.
Wolves started off in 1877. It was very much an amateur football club, and it was called St Luke's at Blakenhall. From 1877 they used to play on fields, Harper's Field and Fowler's Field, off Lower Villiers Street, which of course right bang in the middle of the ABCD area.
One of the first things we did was liaise with the police, and we actually, when we saw the drug dealers, we informed the police, who then came down. After a while that ceased, and then we moved on to other issues. Anti-sales behaviour was a big issue.
My biggest impact is the prostitution and solving that area what blighted our community. It's been there for a long time. Now we've helped eradicate it. It hasn't gone completely, but it's 99.5% better for our community.
We know ABC, they're working toward all the people. So we approach to the ABC, if they can help us out for the security reason. And so they come along, they say, yes, we can help you something, to be protection of the securities. So that the ABC help us out with that. And we've done the railing, and it's working very well.
One of the schemes in the Blakenhall Gardens area that was an early success was the work that the City Council, Bromford and ABCD did in the Eco Home Scheme, which has now been built and is now occupied. And it was 27 flats and 4 houses there, with a garden area at the back and a pavilion, and it's got a biomass boiler. ABCD actually paid for that part of it. That was the community centre bit, which is a small meeting room for people, and the environmental part of it.
This nursery helps a lot of single parents, I think, in this area, which there is a lot of single parents we got on board as well. It's great for them, and they also are assured with the quality that we offer in this nursery with the ABCD's help funding that's come through. That's why we can afford to give them that quality. So single parents, it's fantastic. They haven't got the transports, it's walking distance, and it's a thriving place to bring their children in.
We put a targeted capital bid into the government, and because the school was situated in the ABCD area, the organisation said that they would put some funding towards the project if we were successful. The new buildings are totally different to the old sites that we had. Basically they were 1960s buildings, flat roofs, etc. Very dark spaces where there were sort of classrooms that were isolated. The new school is sort of designed so that it's situated so that we get maximum daylight. There's huge glazing, as you can see. It's got lots of sustainable and environmental features which the school's won many awards for. Classrooms are designed with partitions between the two classrooms in each year group so that there's a flexible opportunity to obviously open up, particularly during an afternoon.
We were given some funding from Space for Sports and Art to build a 2 badminton court size sports hall. But we wanted this to be for community use, and with the funding from the ABCD we were able to establish a community access link directly into the sports hall, so that the sports hall could be used during the day, the school day, kept separate to the school itself, and also to be able to use in the evenings, weekends and school holidays. ABCD funding actually allowed all the schools in the area to employ a homeschool community liaison officer, and in our school that was absolutely vital job to do, and did a lot of hard work on improving attendance, improving children's well-being, improving their behaviour around school.
It's been there to support parents, families, children, in the hope that some of the issues that stop children's learning, some of the problems that you can help overcome, either yourselves or through inviting other agencies to become involved. MAST is an acronym for Multi-Agency Support Team. Part of the role of the homeschool liaison officer is to build bridges between the school and the parent and the community.
Re-Entry is a company limited by guarantee and a registered charity. The remit of the organisation hasn't changed. It's to try and meet the needs of young people who, for whatever reason, have been either rejected by school, they've played up, they've got under the teacher's skin, or other reasons and have been excluded, and that's where we come into play.
We've had sustainable funding for over 6 years, which has supplied us with a lot of equipment. Re-Entry is a charity organisation, so we need and rely on goodwill as well as kind of you know, these big funding bids. We've been open for 7 years without a worry with their funding, but they've also provided at least 7 or 8 different activities that we've externally funded for and been successful purely because they know of us. So working together has kind of benefited ABCD and Re-Entry to create one whole positive.
The main activities of MAP is to provide a professional resource to young people in the ABCD area.
Everything that MAP does with young people, concerning the resources we use and the opportunities we give young people, is funded through the ABCD. It wouldn't be possible without them. When it comes to the real reason why we're here, I can say quite categorically that the young people that we've been able to build relationships with is the most important part of our work. A lot of young people that live in this area, they've never come outside of their area, so taking them away from the area and getting them to experience different environments, it's really a positive impact for them, and they see like a bigger horizon outside of Wolverhampton, outside of the ABCD area.
It's all generated or all based around health and well-being. That's what we try to get out there. It's all about keeping your mind, your body, your soul and everything active, and they enjoy it. It's all about keeping fit, using every part of your body that you can. You'll find what you come in here, you'll hear a lot of noise, you'll see a lot of laughter, and you'll see a lot of people that's inquisitive and are not frightened to ask questions or anything, and they like to involve everybody.
It's been about 8 years now that I've been sort of working alongside the ABCD regarding sort of help from them in order to set this group up. all the community groups, and there's plenty of them, they've all been successful from the funding, and it's helped everybody. And I'd just like to say personally, I'm glad that as a team, ABCD have helped the Zardor Group to achieve something, and we're going to try and sustain what we've got, but it started originally with the ABCD fund.
The idea of doing something with this school once it was closed in year 2001 was an idea that came out of a lot of discussions with ABCD and with a number of other community organisations. I suggested to them that they might like to set up an organisation that could sustain itself in the long term. And in order to do that, it would have to become quite a business-like organisation. In fact, it would almost have to become a community business. We've managed to create our own business providing a nursery for local children. We have the Spurgeon's Childcare Charity, who came in first of all with just a request for 1 room and have now got about 6 rooms. And then of course with the conference centre, we've people coming and going all day, every day.
There's a planning consent for 110 houses, flats and shops which will be built on the site of the former high-rise estate. The high-rise estate has now been completely demolished and 1 block is in fact still being knocked down as we speak. Although a very good planning consent has been granted for a mixture of owner occupation and social housing, the housing scheme hasn't yet started.
Blakenhall Gardens coming down was a real landmark in the development of ABCD, and since then we've seen new buildings going up, we've seen changes to the road, real changes as you go down there. We've had real changes to housing in that area with better energy efficiency, and I think all those are brilliant.
When you look at what we've done in ABCD, I think it's been a really interesting and really exciting project that I'm sure people are really still proud of and will continue to be into many years ahead.
A lot of people are sceptical about what ABCD has achieved in its lifetime, but I think it's achieved a lot.
I think people have to go out and have a look at 2 pictures, the before and the after, and the only thing they can say is that the after is so much better than the before.
It's an opportunity that only comes by every so often. I don't know when there'll ever be another programme like this.
This project has only been delivered successfully due to the hard work of a lot of the people, and I'd like to take this opportunity in thanking all those people who served on the board of ABCD, all the ABCD staff, all our key partners, the ward councillors, and of course the community for their patience and all their support. Even though this project is coming to its final conclusion, I believe this is not the end, but just the start.